Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video we're going to sort of finish off the saga to do with splits. Okay, so first I'm going to do is remove this line, and I'm also going to remove this code here, because remember that code was replaced by that. So I can remove all of this. Okay, so I'm gonna create a variable called plain hand. I'm going to set it to the real count. So if you've got a pair of 8, it's just going to be 16. Now, I'm not sure what happens with aces. Out of curiosity, let me think. I could just put a switch in here. If pair of aces, set it to 12, but I'm sure it already does that. So let me just check something. What happens with a pair of aces? If paired, real count equals total count more than 21, 12. Yeah, so it automatically does it. So real count is equal to, if it's a pair of aces, it will be equal to 12. Okay. So if I did put something in here, it wouldn't. If I put something in here like, if it equals to ace ace, it wouldn't have made no difference. So what I'm going to do is, let's just replace this with key hand. Let key hand equals real card to string. Okay, so now to use that function we need a dealer card, and unfortunately we haven't got it. However, in add card we can get the dealer card, and we can put it in here. And once we put it here, we should have it available there. Okay, so now I can replace the action on this object by doing item dot action equals this dot find play, and it's going to be dealer card followed by key hand. Okay, so now that should fix it. By setting the action from P, it will take it from P into something else. So because of that, in class game, P won't exist anymore. P would only exist within them two brackets. So what I can do is, I can find P, because I was going to originally do it the other way. Well, I didn't know. I thought I would have done it here, but I don't need to do it here. Let me just find P. Okay, here it is. I could just leave it in, because I know I'm going to make a mistake here when I remove this if else. Okay, I think that's it. So I'm going to give it a little test, just to make sure that I haven't made a mistake. Okay. No, I messed up a bit there. I'll go back here because what I want to do, I want to test it without. In fact, yeah, it wasn't working yet because that's on 20. Right, so let's do another test. We're going to do a test of 10,000. I'm going to set that to that. I want to do 10,000 first. Right. We've got some results. So let's go to the second one. Second to last one, which is this. And as you can see, exceeded card. The dealer card was 6 and we had 12. So let's see, 12. The dealer card 6. So that's a split. So it did split. I mean stick. That's stick when we're talking about split. Okay, so it's stick. So therefore, exceeded card, that is P. So in the object, we just have to look for a pair of 6s. And can you see here? It changed that pair of 6s to an S. So it is working. It's sort of doing what I said it would originally do. So what I'm going to now do is I'm going to switch it off and do a test, which is going to be 1 million. And then I'm going to switch it on to see what the difference is. It should be less because my estimate was about 0.45. Okay, so if it comes down a bit, then I know that I've got it right. So that's 50. So when I turn it on, it should be less than 51. If it's less, then, whoops, done a bad thing here. I need to get rid of these. Okay, I've already tested that. I'll just take them out. So that's messed me up, innit? Let's do that. Let's get it working out. Yeah, it's working. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 million again. Then I'm going to switch this thing on, and then I'm going to see the difference it makes. And I'm looking for it to be less than. It's just going to be less than. Okay? If it's less than, then that's good. Because that would be the error that I've seen in the results. So that means if it's less than, then I know that I've done it right. 516. It's not less than. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bigger test. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to pause the video and do a bigger test. Okay, I'm back. Now, I've just done 2 tests, and actually the result what I saw was to be expected, but I just got mixed up. By when it's disabled, you should actually lose less. So here, I'm losing 0.4521. So when I enable it, which is here, it should be more, not less. So it's actually working right, 4521. Now as you can see, it's still out. I've got 0 point, I got 0 point, this is the figure, because that's when it, let me just, I want to keep it like that now. So that is the figure there, 0.045. And if I look here, it's out by, it's not out by much. Okay. Now, because it's not out by much, it's unlikely that it's caused. Because to be honest, I found a fix for this. But what I thought was that because it's not out by much, it's unlikely that it's to do with coding. Okay. So what I did is I looked at this site and I found this chart, and I looked at the twos. Look at the twos and the threes and the fours, and compare it with this chart. Can you see it's different? It's got P's for the twos and P's there, and the fours, it's got 2 P's for 5 and 6, and here he hasn't got it. So that's so what it is. This is the same site, Wizard of Odds. So before I can compare this number, I have to use their chart. Okay, and that's totally different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another chart, and then what I could do is I can test both of them. So let me just open up my chart. Let's just stretch this out. Okay. I'm going to copy and paste it because obviously it's going to be a bit of a pain. I can't find it though. Right. So I'm going to paste it in under here. So I'm just going to do that. Put a comma there and do that. Okay. So that's the new chart. And I think that is the figure we get. That's the figure I got. What am I talking about? That's the figure I got. 0.45419. So if I just click that and copy it, let's just get this one. And let's put it here. Alright, so there it is. There's no confusion there. All I have to do is set that to basic 2. And that should use that different chart. So I'm gonna do a big trial. So I'm gonna have to pause the video and I'll come back afterwards. Okay, I've done a trial and it's come back as 45145, which is less than that one. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more test, but I'm going to switch the seeding off and just see what it does without the seeding on. Hello, I'm back again. So what I did was I've done 2 more tests. One of them's come back as 4.2. The other one's come back as 4. So if I average them out, it's about 4.5, I'd say. Yeah. 0.472. It's going to be about 4.45 exactly. Okay. So it's a teeny bit out. Okay. Now I don't know if it's out yet. What I have to do is I would have to perform a big super massive trial. So I'm gonna pause the video, then I'll show you how I'm gonna trial it. Hello there, I've logged into a virtual machine here. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just have to change the view and the debug mode. And I've already done that, and then I come to here. I've done a few test runs just to see how long it takes. And as you can see, it takes about 3,600 milliseconds. Now, if I times that for 1,000, 1, 2, 3, that should take an hour. If I add extra naught, that should take about 10 hours or 12. It should take about 12 hours. So what I'm going to now do is I'm going to set it off. Before I do that, let me just get this one in. Let me just get this up. And you can see what. So therefore it's on whatever percent it is now. I'll press that. And this is a VM with one processor, so now it's gone to 98%. So what I'm going to do is, because it's one processor, this is it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the affinity, set priority to below normal. So all that means is if any other process needs to run, it won't block it. Okay, so that means the reason I've done that is I'm on Azure, I've got a subscription. Sometimes they come and interfere with what you're doing. Okay, so this is just so that if they had to run the process, it wouldn't stop it, so they've got no excuse for interfering with this. Now this should finish in 12 hours. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to go to my Azure console to show you how it looks in there. Okay, this is Azure view, and as you can see, this is what I suspected was happening. They're throttling me. Can you see this is only on 20%? Okay. Now here, I'll change it back. I'll change it to 48 hours. I'll tell you what I tried to do before. I tried to run it, and as you can see here, it went to 100% for about 8 hours. Then they throttled it down to 20%, and then they cut the process here. So they just cut it off, so I didn't even get a result. So now I've run it again, and look, they throttled it back immediately. And this is a VM that I hardly ever use. So what it is, if you look at the history of this VM, this is the month, this is the last month, and as you can see, it hardly gets used. And yet when I try to use it, they throttle it. Now I'll show you the VM again. So here's the VM. It's running at 100%. That should take 12 hours at the most. Okay, so let's see if it takes 12 hours. Okay, so I'll go back to the Azure now. So as you can see, I'm back to the Azure, and as you can see, they're throttling it, so therefore I'm only getting 20%. So I'm not sure, they advertise the processor as, they advertise it as, in fact let me see what it is. Yeah, they advertise it as one virtual. They advertise it as a virtual PC with one virtual CPU. However, they throttle it to 0.2 CPU, and I can't even say 0.2 because what they do is, if you have it on for a day or two, they seem to crash it. However, I've done all updates. I've set the priority to low. So if that doesn't work in 12 hours, then you know. I just want to warn you that when I do a similar thing with AWS or DigitalOcean, when they say one virtual CPU, you always get one virtual CPU, even if you want to run it 24/7. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this video now. In the next video, I'll go back to that Azure thing. I'll probably go back to it after 5 days. In fact, I'm probably going to have to go back. I'll probably go back to it to about 2 days to see if it's finished that task yet. So until next time. In fact, at this stage, I'll say the code is finished. So all we have to do now is do things like we can do things like take all the 5s out and see whether we can win, see which cards cause us to win. For instance, at the moment we're using 0.47%. What if we had a deck and all the 5s were taken out? Would that be good for us? What if we add some 10s in? Okay, so what it is, we can now use this to understand blackjack, understand how we can win it. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Until next time, bye.